All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm sitting here listening to Raven, listening to Raven as she wraps up her show, or I guess as she wraps up Lincoln's show, since they won't give her show. Well, so I'm listening to Raven wrap up the Lincoln Ware show. And hold on, I'm sorry, I'm hearing audio. I shouldn't I shouldn't be hearing audio from there. All right. Good afternoon, Nicole. Good afternoon, Robert, Anthony. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Come on in. Come in, say hi. Come in, say hi to me. Holla at your boy. Do people still say that? Come in, say hi. Holla at your boy. Um, yeah, just say hi. Nicole says I should invite Raven as a guest. One of these days, I'm gonna do that. She's always welcome to call, but one of these days I'll do that. Uh, Tony, Phil, Anthony, Shelly, Jackie, your favorite millennial. She is wrapping it up. All right, that was Raven. All right, let me cut this on down here. All right, that was. I was just listening to Raven and kind of what she was talking about. Um, interesting, interesting conversation. I still think they did her wrong. She deserved a show. She deserved a show. Oh, you're good enough to fill in, but you're not good enough to do it on a regular basis. We don't trust you. Like what? But okay, she ain't complaining about it. I shouldn't complain about it. So I'm gonna shut up about it. Um, let's see. Let's see. McConnell, give people a minute as she wraps up her show. Give people a minute to come on over. But yeah, welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. My title, I'm the King of Talk. And I got a few things that I want to discuss with you today. You can give me a call, 513-717-KING. It's at the bottom of the screen. 513-717-KING. It should be right here. 513-717-KING. Give me a call. Mike, what's up, Mike? Thank you. I'm working on a new backdrop. I'm working on it, put it together, and it'll be similar, just slightly different. Similar, slightly different. I want to have a few of them. I want to have a few of them. Yeah, I love my people. I love my people. So, celebrate people, celebrate my people. That's what I like to do. Um, all right, let me just real quick as people come in, let me say, I enjoy listening to the buzz still. I enjoy listening to Lincoln. I enjoy listening to Raven. I was interested. I was interested in what she was talking about. I'm not gonna talk about it, but I was interested in what she was talking about and kind of what some of the people said. I will have to say it was like not the last call, not CK, but the call before him. Is it Bill? Bill, who said he was living with his mama. He never moved out from his mama because he wanted to make sure that his mama didn't. And he said his mama just passed. That's sad. That's sad to hear, but And now he's 60 something years old and wondering why he can't find a woman. He said he had some female friends, but that didn't work out. I wonder why that didn't work out. I wonder why that didn't work out in your 20s, 30s, 40s. I wonder why that didn't work out. Would you date, ladies? Just curious. I'm just curious. Would you date a dude in his 30s who still live with his mama? Like, seriously date. Like, I know he could take you out and spend some money on you, but would you seriously date a dude in his 30s or his 40s? Excuse me. Would you seriously date a dude in his 30s or 40s who lived with his mama? I am not being a hater. I'm just asking. So, well, I live with my mama because I don't want her to end up in you 35 years old, get your own spot. And you 40, get your own spot. And you 50 years old, get your own spot. And you know what I'm saying? If things kind of get a little serious, you got to take me to your mama house to hit or come to my house and get your own spot. Get your own spot. So Jerica or Jerika, you says, yes, you would date a man in his 40s. In his 40s who still live with his mama. Okay. I'll just be curious. This day and age, if you're a grown man, you better not say you stay with nobody but yourself. All right. I'd appreciate dude more if he was honest. Just admit you enjoy living rent free. All right. Jerica says maybe not his 40s, but his 30s would be okay. In his 30s, that would be okay? All right. A little thirsty sounds like to me. I'm just curious. I know when I was in my early 20s, like I lived, of course, here in Cincinnati. I lived with my mama. I moved to the great state of Alabama. It ain't that great, but I mean, it's a state. I moved to Alabama. I went to school down there for a few years. Came back. And when I came back, I moved in with Pops. And Pops had an apartment. So I moved in with him. And I think I lived with him for maybe a year. And then I moved out. I might have been, 22-ish, living with my daddy. And I moved out. I had a roommate for about a year. Then that kind of went south. So I had to move in with my sister for a few months before I got my own spot. And then I've been on my own since then. I would not have known, like during that little time that I lived with Pops right after leaving college, and I was working, trying to put up a little bit of money. I wouldn't have been comfortable. Well, that's not true. I did bring one chick to the apartment, but Pops wasn't home, so it was all right. But I wouldn't have been comfortable. You really can't get down in your mama or your daddy house the way you want to get down. But It's okay if you holding it down for moms, paying most of the bills, cutting the grass, taking care of the car. Moms don't have to do anything. See, them sound like excuses to me. Like, look. But he in his 60s now, and his mom's just passed away. When he was in his late 20s, he wasn't worried about his mom's being in no, home where she needed care. Mom's was like, he was probably in his mama's way. His mama couldn't get no, rhythm or nothing. Cause she bringing dudes home and her son still in his room on that twin bed. So his mama couldn't even, get down like she wanted to. I know his mama was like, Billy, you know what I'm saying? Don't you think it's time that you could get your own place, Billy? No, mama, I'm here because I want to take care of you. Like, Billy, I'm a healthy 50-year-old woman. I don't need you to take care of me. As a matter of fact, I have a healthy sexual appetite, Billy. I can't get it in with you in the other room on your twin bed. Oh, oh my goodness. Just that guy. Okay. Anyway. Oh, scrapes in the house and you're a preacher's son too. His mom ain't had no stroke. His mama ain't had no stroke. His mama wasn't in no bad condition. He was just a lazy man. I feel that, as the king of talk, it comes with certain abilities. It comes with certain abilities. And just listening to him talk, I can tell. I can feel it. Nah, he was just some dude that needed to move out of his mama house. But his mama didn't make him live in the basement. And she let him stay. She let him stay there, and he slept in that twin bed. So he did say he didn't have transportation. So now, Jerica, would you marry a dude? Not marry. Would you seriously date a dude in his 30s, living with his mama, who don't have no transportation? If you want to date dude, you got to go pick him up at his mama house. Go to your house to do it, and then drop him back off at his mama house, or catch the bus. You know what I'm saying? What? Do it. You know what? Do what? You know what it is. You know what it is. I'm hosting a channel. Hopefully some more will come in on the Twitch side. All right. Stop bed watching. I'm just thinking about it. And then Raven feeling bad for him, talking about, where do you, as a 60-year-old person, find somebody? Come on. Yeah, no transportation and no residence of his own. And now he's 60. So now he got a residence of his own. Probably only because his mama died. Hopefully it was paid off and she didn't get a reverse mortgage. Because he ain't going to be able to pay it off. So now he got a residence. He get to get out of the twin bed and go get in his mama's bed. I bet he didn't even buy a new bed. I get the big bedroom. And he just went and changed the sheets on his mama's bed, and that's where he sleep now. I love my mama. Like the water boy or something. Do we hold women to the same standard? No, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Women can be held to a different standard. I, but here's the funny part. I think we don't hold women to the same standard, but I think women, because y'all know this single parenting thing is a thing. So I think women raise their daughters, and men raise their daughters to be self-sufficient because they know they have to be. But a lot of times they take care of their sons and let them stay there into their 40s and 50s, sleeping in their old bedroom on that twin bed. But for whatever reason, we look at our daughters, and I mean, it's a good thing that we look at our daughters and we say, look, you don't need to be dependent on no man. So you need to be able to hold your own. So I'm sorry, but you, at some point, you got to move out. I'll be there for you and I'll help you. I'll be there for you and I'll help you. But you got to learn how to do this on your own, baby girl, because the last thing I want is you dependent on a man. But we're not telling your boys, like, hey, one of these days you're going to be responsible for a family. And you got to learn how to do this stuff for a family. You're going to be responsible for raising boys and girls, for feeding children, making sure the electricity is on, making sure the cable is on. At some point, you ain't going to be able to scream up the stairs or down the stairs and say, Mama, the cable is off. And then Mama going to pay the bill. In my head, that's what Bill was doing. Mama, the cable is off. And, you know, so then Mama trying to make sure the cable is on because little Billy got to be happy. Even though she can't do what she want to do. Anthony says, wait, shouldn't all adults be self-sufficient? They should. They should. But, all right, so I asked the women, and there is a difference. Fellas, men, guys, would you date a woman in her 30s who lived with her mama and didn't have a car? Would you date a woman in her 30s who lived with her mama and didn't have a car? I would. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean that she's like, she just there. She's just there. And she don't need a car. She catch the bus to work or whatever, but she go to work and she do what she do, and it's all good. I'm gonna come and pick her up for the date. We gonna go to my house, and if we gonna do it, we gonna do it. And then, you know, she can stay, or, you know, if she like, oh, I need to go home, I'm not comfortable staying over, then all right, well, let me take you on home, and it's all good. And I don't think anything of it, like, what's wrong with her? Well, now I'm assuming she ain't got no kids, because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, if you got kids, you need to be out there on your own. Which that sounds kind of backwards, don't it? Because if you got kids, then maybe you living with your mama because she's helping you with the kids and everything. But I would date a woman who lived with her mama and didn't have a car. She got to have a job. You know what I'm saying? She got to be doing something. She can't just be there. I'm sorry, I can't see this name. Art Funk Box over there on Twitch says, if I'm holding it down, it don't matter. Yeah, okay. I'm with that. I'm not comfortable staying over, but we can do it. Yeah, hypothetical lady has standards. That makes sense. That makes sense. Sex is sex. Sex is sex. And I come over and we can do it. But afterwards, it sounds creative. I don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you whatever, but I don't know you like that to be staying over. Nah. Sex is not just sex. Yes, it is. Sometimes sex is just sex. We just date. Now, but my question really was, would I seriously date? Like, and when I say seriously date, I mean date to the point where I'm even considering taking it further. Marriage. I'm considering marriage and a family with you. I would do that with a woman who lived with her mama and didn't have a car. I would. Now I have to think about this though, and this is gonna sound weird. This is gonna sound weird. Um, I'm not sure that I would date a woman who lived with her father and didn't have a car. Which I know kind of sound like there was no difference. And I don't know why there is a difference, but there is a difference. I don't I don't know why, but there is a difference. Hello, E-Man on opening day and to First Lady. All right, hello. I don't drive and never had a problem. You don't drive? I don't understand people who don't drive. Why do you not drive? Why do you not drive? I don't even understand that. Like, that makes no sense to me. Horrible. I can shoot up the club, but I can't sleep in your bed. You, it's not I can't sleep in your bed. I'm not comfortable spending the night. I'm not comfortable spending the night. That makes sense to me. If she said, let's go to your place, and I said, all right, and you know, we did some stuff, and then afterwards, she was like, I need to go home. I wouldn't, why don't you just go ahead and stay? No, I think I need to go home. In my mind, I would be thinking, she got a curfew. I don't know. But I would be okay with it. Like, she don't want her mama to worry. Excuse me. She don't want her mama to worry. Hiccups now. And that's water, by the way. That's what I would be thinking. She don't want her mama to worry about her. I know she could just call and say, Mama, I'm okay, but I would be all right with it. But I think the consensus is, fellas, it's okay to date a chick who lived with her mama and don't have a car. Ladies, it's probably not okay for you to date that dude because he's a loser. Right? Are we all agreeing? She's okay. He's a loser. I mean, she's okay. He's a loser. And that was Bill. That was Bill. Bill's a loser. And so now Bill, 60-something years old. Bill, 60-something years old. What, he done had a stroke? He got diabetes, and all he got to offer is what a full size bed that his mama had, and some health problems. But he wants you to make sure you keep the house clean. Probably because that's what his mama did. That's what his mama did. Um, all right. I didn't really mean to go kind of into that. But Bill's a loser. Bill's a loser. Let's see. There was a few things that I wanted to talk about. Something not so serious. Something not so serious. I ran across this story and it just reminded me of, and now it's going to not want to show up. That's all right. I can find you again. Something not so serious. This woman in Florida was arrested. And this is not funny, okay? I'm telling y'all right now that this is not funny. Oh, wait a minute. Anthony says, my little brother lives with my mom. He works full-time and has 2 cars. He's late 30s. Okay, he got a couple cars. Why, may I ask, if you're willing to share or if you know, why do he still live with your mama? Why? Just curious. Just curious. But again, he works full-time. You say he got 2 cars. He's in his late 30s. So when it's time for him to, you know, take your finger and, you know what I'm saying? When it's time for him, he bring them to the house. He go get a hotel room. You always got to go get a hotel room. He go to their house. Like, he can't never have home field advantage. I'm just curious as to why. Just curious. I hope we ain't talking about the brother they keep upstairs in the room. And somebody want to know, if a few people want to know, is he paying the bills? Is he paying the bills? That's what people want to know. Is he paying the bills? Mom up in age. We all help her out. She lives right around the corner from me, 2 minutes by car. So why he can't get his own spot and do kind of what you're doing? I'm not saying he has to. And I'm not even saying he's a loser. He got a car. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say he got 2 cars because he's lived with his mama. He could be, you know what I'm saying? He might be paying all the bills for all we know. AJ says there are people who still believe in remaining celibate until marriage and remaining at home until then. There are. I can tell you, Bill was not one of them. And that is few and far between. And I'm not against that. I'm not against it. I'm just asking, because if you remaining celibate and all that good stuff, then you ain't worried about her coming over and you know what I'm saying, doing stuff. Daryl wants to know, who is Bill? Bill was a guy who called in to Raven towards the end of the Lincoln Ware show, and he was a loser. That's all you really need to know about Bill. He's a loser, and he's 60-something years old trying to find a maid to marry. Somebody said about 2 people. Now there are people who do that. Not everyone is a horny dog, E-Man. You don't have to be a horny dog to want to get out and date and develop a wonderful relationship with a woman or a man and want to have sexual relations with that person. That don't make you a horny dog. Mom retired, has her own house. Brother ain't a scrub. He has a young lady he kicks it with. Also has 2 sons. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Where? Okay. I'm gonna do, okay. Um, dang, Bill's a loser now. Bill is a loser. Yes, yes, yes. No doubt about it. And he says, what? I, he he got 2 sons. But nothing. 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 Mary says it's hard out here for mature Black women who owns her home, car, business, works a 9 to 5. All the older men have ED issues, and I have an insatiable sexual appetite and will not lower my standards. What the hell? It's really a shame. These old men who are looking for, it wouldn't all fit, who are looking for, wait a minute, find it so I can finish reading. It's really saying these old men who are looking for someone to take care of them after they have wreaked havoc for so many years. Mary has an insatiable sexual appetite. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, but wow. Oh, I'm not against you having an insatiable sexual appetite. I'm not against it at all. Um, it caught me off guard. She caught me just a little off guard. Okay. Wow. And they all got ED. They all got ED. That's not funny because one of these days I'll probably have ED as well. But wow, I guess it's hard out there. It's or maybe it's not that hard out there, and that's the problem Mary is having. It's not that hard out there. Um, wow. Oh, right. There is nothing wrong with it. It's the way that it was said. But all right. All right. Yes, it's soft out there. Well, let me say this. Let me say this, Mary. I'm sorry for you. Those men, they can't help that they have ED. Okay? They can't help it. It's not their fault. It's just like women who have DP. They can't help it either. And it's not their fault. So, from that perspective, it might be rough on you. And I don't know your age group. I don't know. I mean, I believe you're an older woman. Hold on, did you say in here? Let me see if I can scroll back and find you. See if I can scroll back and find your comment. She just said a mature Black woman. So, oh, wait a minute. What is DP? What is ED? And you can figure out what DP is. Y'all can figure out what DP is. But that's a thing, and it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Vincent said he don't think they have ED. No man can keep up with insatiable. Maybe Mary should carry ED mans for her friend. Maybe. DP, you'll figure it out. But is that really an issue that a lot of women are running into nowadays? Like, really? Keeping it real. I apparently, yeah, Keisha say that is a big issue. Keisha said that's a big issue. Your high school band is on. All right. Thank you. What about VP? I don't know what VP is. So I can't say. And y'all got me all off track. Hold on, I think this thing started playing something else. All right, y'all got me off track. I wanted to talk about this lady in Florida. There was a woman in Florida. She's in police custody now. Authorities say that she put a 4-year-old who was in her care into a dryer and turned it on. Oh, and that is only funny to me. It's not funny by itself. But it's only funny to me because we did that to one of my brothers. And because we did that to one of my brothers when he was young, in my mind, it's funny. I remember that incident. 35-year-old Amber Chapman was arrested by Lake County Sheriff's deputies on Saturday. She's charged with first-degree felony of aggravated child abuse. After the boy was taken to the emergency room with a great-sized bruising around his eyes, ears, cheeks, shoulder, stomach, and lower back. Wow. He was taken to the ER, where he informed medical officials that Miss Amber placed him in the dryer with towels and spun him. The boy, it's not fun. I'm not laughing at the boy. I'm not laughing at the boy. I'm laughing about something that happened in my youth. The boy claimed in an interview with deputies that he went round and round in the dryer for a few minutes. Chapman then allegedly opened up the door and checked on him, closed it again, and then the boy said he went round and round again. She was arrested. A warrant was issued. She was released on $15,000 bail. She's due back in court on May 2nd. It's unclear if she had retained a lawyer. Child Protective Services were unable to determine whether the boy's injuries had been caused by the incident, but said the severe bruising was consistent with what he had told the police and doctors. And law enforcement, they did not disclose a potential motive for the abuse. Yeah, that is bad. That is bad. Don't put kids in the dryer, okay? Don't put kids in the dryer. But we did that. And if I recall, he was okay. Um, uh, let's see. Raz says we used to play in the dryer before Atari came out. What nothing else to do. Fran said he was okay. Now, who was it? Was it Nate or was it Nick? I think it was Nate that we tried. Wasn't it Nate? Wasn't it Nate that we tried in the dryer? Yes, okay, it was Nate. Yes, Nate was put in the dryer and the dryer was turned on. So that's yeah. Yeah. Uh but yeah, she was arrested and that's good. That's good. That's good. She was arrested. Um and she should be. I mean, he was all bruised up and stuff. I'm trying to imagine my granddaughter. She's 4. I could probably trick her into climbing into the dryer. I could probably trick her into climbing into the dryer. But I don't think I would turn it on. I don't think I would turn it on. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90 something percent sure I would not turn on the dryer with the little baby in there. It's sad that I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's not a good thing. You don't necessarily want to put kids in the dryer. But yeah, she was arrested. Um I have been transported back there and trying to get some work done, but can't stop laughing. It is not funny. It is not funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. Oh, it's not. But he got in there on his own and we just turned it on. Yes. And it was only for a few rotations. Oh boy. It's true. It's true. It's bad. Okay. It's bad. I'm glad that she got arrested. Because if it wasn't something that he wanted, then she was wrong for doing it. All right. She was wrong for doing it. Let's see. There was another couple of stories that I saw that so there's a 5% chance that you would. Yeah, probably about 5%. 5% chance. Uh that's horrible. What happened to him when y'all did that? He rotated a few times. He got out. Nothing bad happened to him. He tumbled. He tumbled a few times and that was it. He tumbled a few times and that was it. Yeah, that was it. Nothing bad happened to him. It wasn't like it was the washing machine or something like that. That would have been horrible. But no, it was just a dryer. I think if you climb into a dryer of your own volition, you really are kind of asking for it to be turned on. You really are. You are saying, "Hey, turn this on." And in my mind, it would be fun. It would be fun. In my mind, it would be fun. Now, I never did it. I never did it, but in my mind, it would be fun. Um, what else? There was something else that I wanted to talk about. I had a few stories today that I wanted to discuss. a few stories today that I wanted to discuss. All right, the lady in Florida. Um, Also, the Oklahoma governor signs a bill to make abortion illegal in Oklahoma. Yeah, it is now a felony in Oklahoma to perform, well, it's not yet, but it will be very shortly, punishable by up to 10 years in prison. It is now a felony, or it will be very shortly, a felony in Oklahoma to perform, not to get an abortion, but to perform an abortion. It's a felony. The governor signed because a lot of the Republican governors and Republican legislatures, they're really racing. I'm sorry, I got a little something there. Because it was funny. A lot of the Republican legislatures are rushing to pass these bills, outlawing abortion. And I have to say, I'm not necessarily against these bills. Like, I'm not on the radio no more. So I don't have to worry about y'all saying, calling in and complaining about me and saying all kind of crazy stuff. So I can just be honest and say it how I feel it. I really don't believe in abortion. They make an exception for if the life of the mother is in danger. If the life of the mother is in danger, then you can perform an abortion. But other than that, I just wasn't ready for kids. You shouldn't be able to just do that. I don't feel like you should be able to just do that. Or let me say, I don't feel like you should just do that. I'm not ready for kids, or I don't want no more kids, or I wasn't expecting to get pregnant and all that kind of stuff. AJ says, so why do you endorse premarital sex? Well, I'm not sure that I endorse it. I just acknowledge that it's real and that it happens. And if you do it, you still should have to deal with the consequences of it. And if that becomes a pregnancy, then you got to deal with that baby. What about ladies who are raped? I'm on the fence about that. I understand that. But how is that the baby's fault? How is that the baby's fault? So I'm going to kill you because that's the way I view it. I know some of y'all, you ain't killing nobody that ain't alive yet. You got a right to that point of view. That's not the way I view it. The way I view it is you killing somebody. It's the same to me as you putting a gun to somebody's head and pulling the trigger. You kill somebody. So, because he raped me, I'm going to kill you. I'm on the fence about it. That I understand. But I don't like it. AJ says, and the woman is who deals with it while you men can vanish. That's part of the trade-off. It's part of the trade-off. There are certain advantages in a pregnancy or something like that that men have, and certain advantages that a woman has. A woman is the one who gets to decide whether or not she gonna keep the child in our society. If I want the child as much as I can want the child with every fiber of my being. And if she say I don't want it, she in our society right now has a right to say, no, I don't have no say on that. It's the advantage of being her. If I decide I don't want the child, I guess I can split. That's the advantage of being me. So there are trade-offs. There are trade-offs. Let me see. Then you also should acknowledge all the horrors that came with women getting their abortions with clothes hangers and such. They will get the abortion at any cost. That's their fault. If you choose to do something like that, that's a choice you made. Acknowledge all the horrors that came with it. That sounds horrible. A horrible choice to make. But that is a choice that people made. Now, if someone forced you to do an abortion with a hanger, then that would be on them. Ben says, your point makes no sense. All right. That was deep and insightful. Thank you. Deep and insightful. And you really put your finger on it. And now I see the error of my ways. If all you got is your point makes no sense, you got nothing. On the fence, there are minors raped by adult male family members and become pregnant. They should be forced to keep it. Again, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I understand. But that don't make me not on the fence. That's the fence. I see that side of it. And then I also see the other side. That's what being on the fence means. I see that there are some good arguments for it, and I see that there are some good arguments against it, and I am on that fence and could go either way depending on the argument. That when I say I'm on the fence, that's what it means. So, pregnancy as a result of rape and incest should be two of the highest offenses in society. Women should be protected at all costs if they must maintain a pregnancy due to those atrocities. I think even if they shouldn't, those should be some of the highest offenses in society. So saying that don't, to me, excuse abortion. I agree, though, with the premise that rape and incest should be two of the highest offenses in society. So yeah, I agree. MLW Reese says you left them with no choice. No, I didn't leave them with no choice. They left them with no choice. They had a choice. And I'm assuming that you're talking about women who get pregnant and then decide to have abortions with coat hangers. I guess that's your big point. And somehow I think that's supposed to sway me or someone. But they made that choice. Because guess what? The other choice was don't get an abortion. No, they removed their options just like they're trying to do now. They didn't remove their options. One of their options was don't get pregnant. One of their other options was don't get an abortion. Well, let me take a clothes hanger and it. Oh, that's nobody's fault that you did that. That's nobody's fault that you did that, but yours. Really? I know what on the fence means. Don't try to play me. I question how you can be on the fence. Because I understand that there are situations where it's probably not the worst idea. At the same time, I understand that there are situations where I think it's probably the worst idea. That's how. I don't know. I don't understand what you're asking me. I do agree abortion should not be used as birth control. And I think a lot, I won't say a lot, but some of what we see and some of what people like me are against is just that. Some of it is just that. And Reese says, no, my mother used to tell me about back in the day. Reese, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? You give me a call, 717 King. Give me a call, 717-5464. Give me a call. Because I don't think that I'm understanding your point. If a law passed nationwide, abortion is no longer legal. You can't do it except to save the life of the mother and maybe in the cases of rape and incest. There are still going to be a whole lot of pregnancies where people want to abort that baby. People want to murder that baby. Yes, I'm using loaded language. People want to murder that baby, and they will do anything to murder that baby. And if they got to go in the back alley and get a clothes hanger and do some horrible stuff, they're going to do it. How do you blame the people who said no murdering babies? Because those people, well, that's the only options that you're giving them. Again, no, they got the option to not get pregnant. Birth control is out here. Birth control is out here like crazy. And there are a whole lot of different forms. I know it's not 100%. And don't have sex if you're that concerned about it. Don't have sex. You don't want a baby. You know that a baby can come from you having sex. But use protection. But you know it's not 100%. You know it's not 100%. So if you are that against getting pregnant and having a baby, don't do it. And there is your choice. Now, when you choose to do it, have sex. When you choose to have sex, now you've limited your choices if you don't want to have a baby. You made that decision. So don't tell me, well, they forced them to go get a pregnancy, to go get an abortion with a clothes hanger. No, you made that decision. You made that decision, which I think is a horrible decision. What situation is it not the worst idea to you for it to be done? I don't understand the question. And maybe it's just my reading comprehension. What situation is it not the worst idea to you for it to be done? Clarify what you're asking for me, if you don't mind. And I don't mind answering. I don't mind answering. Do y'all think these Republicans are against abortion and so hell-bent on banning it because more Black women are getting it than white women? Or is it that white women are having them at an alarming rate? I think it's a possibility that they just truly believe in the sanctity of life. Like, it's not a horrible premise to say, think about a baby. Just think about a baby. Little baby. Little baby. Oh, little baby. Oh, little baby. Oh, little baby. Little baby. Oh, little baby. Little baby. Is it such a horrible thing to say, don't kill one of these? Because that's where my stance on abortion kind of comes from there. See this little baby? Don't kill one of these. Somebody should protect these. We should protect these. We should tell people that they can't kill these. before they get an opportunity to be here. Because that's how some of us view that pregnancy. That's a little baby in there. It's growing, but that's a little baby. And I'm not evil for looking at a little baby and saying, oh, don't kill that little baby. Somehow I'm the bad guy because I'm the one saying, don't kill that little baby. 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 I'm the bad guy. You making them go in the alley with a coat hanger. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm saying, don't kill that little baby. Michael said, if you can't feed your baby, then don't have a baby. And if you don't want to have a baby, don't have sex. Gina says, I feel the same way. How can you say they believe in the sanctity of life, but they are proponents of the death penalty? Make it make sense. Well, let me say, I don't agree with them on the death penalty. I don't believe we should be killing people. I don't. However, I understand the difference between innocent little baby, don't kill it. Person who hacked up 17 people and ate their scalps. We might not want that person around our society no more. And again, I'm not saying that I agree with it. But I understand how there can be a definitive line. Like, I believe in the sanctity of life. Don't kill innocent little babies before they even have an opportunity to be born. And well, that's a little different than a grown man or woman who's butchered people. So I understand that there is some hypocrisy there, but I understand that there is a difference. Make the little baby sounds again. I had to get y'all to think of an innocent little baby. They have stories of Republican politicians coming strongly against abortion, then found out having paid for a mistress to get one. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with that. Hypocrisy exists. People are hypocrites. You can strongly believe in something, and then when you're faced with the same situation, go against what you strongly believe in. I don't believe people should lie, but then you get caught in a corner and you tell a lie. Come on, y'all act like there's no level of hypocrisy in your life. None. You've never done anything where you were like, I would never do that. And then you face with the situation and then you end up doing it. So if the point that we're making is, if there's a level of hypocrisy there, then what? We shouldn't listen to people if they've shown any level of hypocrisy? Is that the point that we're trying to make? Because if that's the case, we shouldn't listen to nobody. I know someone who worked at Planned Parenthood, and I was told it is more white women who are getting them. These white conservatives are trying to slow their annihilation. Again, I don't know about that. And from my perspective, it doesn't matter to me if they're trying to slow their annihilation or if they're trying to speed up the annihilation of the Black people or whatever. That comment just may put me back in jail. If so, see y'all in 30 days. I don't know what comment. What comment? Let's see. When babies arrive, their policy seems to be against all the social programs that assist. And just because I don't want you to kill somebody, don't mean I think I'm responsible for them. I really don't understand kind of what y'all saying. I don't understand what y'all saying. Janice says, I understand what you're saying, and I shudder thinking of a woman who must make that decision, but make men as responsible for the pregnancy as the woman. Men impregnate women. Here's where Janice, I'm with you, sort of, because we there's a few things going on. So let's do this. Let's say if abortion weren't legal, you could not just go get an abortion, because clearly, as it stands right now, if I get Mrs. Livingston pregnant, which is not going to happen, but if I get Mrs. Livingston pregnant and Mrs. Livingston decides she don't want that baby, she can go get an abortion. I don't have no say. And because I don't have no say there, well, you should be as responsible for the pregnancy if she decide to keep it. No, not necessarily, because I don't have no say. Now, take away everybody's say, and nobody can get an abortion. All right, abortion can't happen. So she can't make that decision without me. Now make me as responsible and give me all the rights. We share equally in all of the rights and in all of the responsibilities. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. She can't make a move without me. I can't make a move without her. We are equally responsible and we have equal rights. And then, Janice, I'm with you 100%. But until we make that decision, if you got all of the say so, you make the decision what you want to do. I am mad at men who decide that they're not going to hold up their level of responsibility, but that's the role that y'all wanted. The ones with means will always be able to get the abortion. It will be the ones without that will suffer. Or they could not get pregnant. Why is that such a, out of the realm of possibility? Don't get pregnant. You ain't got to worry about it. Do you want a baby? No, not right now. Then don't get pregnant. Well, how do I know I'm going to get pregnant just because I'm having sex? You know you can get pregnant just because you're having sex, right? Right? How bad do you not want a baby? Well, really bad. Then don't have sex. Do you not want to have a baby worse than you want to have sex or whatever? Which is greater? Your desire to have sex or your desire to not have a baby? Whichever one wins, that's what we know which one is. But to the ones without means, don't be out there having sex or use protection or whatever the case. You ain't impregnating nobody. I'm not. Janice says, but you made the baby. I helped make the baby. But if I don't get to decide nothing about the baby, if I got no rights, then don't give me no responsibilities. You want me to share in all the responsibility, but none of the rights. That's not fair. That's not fair. Come on, Janice, you know that ain't fair. We should have to, if we don't do the legal abortion thing. Janice, Janice, me and you hook up and you end up pregnant. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. But then, Janice, guess what? We should both have to decide if we're going to make it legal. We both have to decide, okay, let's murder this baby. You agree we're going to murder the baby? Yeah, baby, let's murder the baby. All right, so we both agree. But no, I don't want to murder the baby. Well, I want to murder the baby. I don't know what to tell you. That ain't right. Well, I want to murder the baby. Well, I want to keep the baby. Well, if you keep that baby, I ain't taking care of it. No, I'm keeping the baby, and you are forced to take care of it. Come on. That ain't right. That ain't right. She can't make any decision if you don't make the baby. If we don't make the baby, because she can say no. Again, we're not talking about a case of rape and all that stuff. We're talking about me putting it down. She said yes. We made a baby. Then she get to decide. Come on. Come on, Janice. A rich woman will always be able to do what they want to. Well, Jerica, or some people know her, Jerika, says, I agree. If you can't care for it, don't get pregnant. But I told him not to release, so it's his fault. What the hell? Possession is 9/10 of the law. How can that not be right if you are against abortion? How can what not be right? I'm against abortion. I'm against abortion. I don't believe anybody should get an abortion. I don't like the idea of it. Now, again, I'm not saying that these people should be outlawing abortion. I'm not saying that. I think we should have different rules for abortion. I think we should have different rules. Rules like I said, if you get pregnant and you know the man who impregnated you, together, he has to agree to you getting the abortion, because we're going to hold him responsible financially and every other way for the raising and the rearing of that child. That's the way I think it should be. I don't think they should be making it illegal. I always tell y'all, I kind of believe in the God way of this. I really believe if God wanted abortion to not happen, he could make it not happen. He's like, I don't want it, but you make the decision on what you're going to do. And I sit before you, life and death. Now, I want you to choose life, but I do give you the choice. And that's kind of where I am. Like, I would rather you choose not to have an abortion. I would rather you choose not to have an abortion, but I don't want to take the choice away from you. But I do think it should be fair. If he says abort, or he not helping, and she says I'm having it and going to at least pay, if you advocate for life, then where is she wrong? She should be able to make that choice. I mean, here, I think you're confusing two things. I don't think anybody should get an abortion. Nobody should. So I think it should, ideally, they choose to have the baby and they choose to support the baby emotionally, financially, and every otherly that they can. Ideally. But again, we don't live in that world. So I really think this is simple. Like when I say it, when I think it, and when I say it, it's super simple. Two people got together. And again, we're not talking about rape. We're talking about two adults having sensual sex. Two adults got together. They both made the decision to have sex. A child came from their decision. They should be able to choose together to have the baby or not to have the baby. Are we all on the same page now? Both of them. But if one, and in this case, one being the woman, decides, because here's what you're doing. You're putting all of the power in her hands. You're saying you get to decide for you whether or not to have the baby, and he has no say. And then you get to decide for him whether or not he has to financially support the baby, and he has no say. Well, but he had to say when he laid down, so did she. So she had to decide whether or not to keep the baby. He gets to decide whether or not to financially and all those other leads support the baby. Again, I think ideally everybody would keep babies. Everybody would financially support those babies, love them and care for them and all of that. But she don't get to have all the power. I don't like that. I don't like that. And that's simple to me. And it says, believe it or not, I'm not for abortion, but being a woman, I can understand the critical decisions some women must make. And I'm not for abortion, and I understand the critical decisions that women must make. And look, if the man is not around, if it was just one of those deals and whatever happened, and you're not even sure who baby daddy is, it's all on you. It's all on you. But understand, I always look at it from this perspective as a man. When I found out that I had a baby on the way, it's the happiest thing ever. And I could not have imagined somebody taking that decision away from me and saying, no, your child will never be born. I couldn't imagine that. I'd have went bonkers. I decided to not have your child. But if we live in a society where just randomly you can make the decision to murder my child, shouldn't we live in the same society where randomly I get to decide I'm not going to support your child? I didn't want it. Some people were slow though. So what if the pregnancy is detrimental to her health? Then what? Your points are bizarre. No, you're stupid. You're stupid and you don't listen. We've clearly said, even in the Republican law, to where abortion is illegal in Oklahoma, it's except for in cases where the mother's life is in danger. Like you searching so hard to be against what I said that you ain't even listening. Like, sometimes you just say stupid stuff. Just maybe I think, it's in an attempt to be anti-me, which makes you sound like a fool sometimes. But then other times I think it's just because you're a damn fool. And I'm leaning more and more to you just a damn fool. It's going to always be in her hands in America because men don't step up here. Woman is always left holding the bag. That is not true. And I think that's where you're making the critical error. You can't imagine because of your ethics. Many people can't imagine. Well, just as women need to be mindful of who they get pregnant by, men be mindful of who you get pregnant. Have a discussion before you go to shooting up the club. I agree, but I'm just talking about the rules. I'm just talking about the rules. And what I'm saying is, I believe in equality, and I believe the rules should be fair and equitable. And if you have say-so over that, then I should have say-so over this. Don't force me to do this if I can't force you to do that. And that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Maybe she doesn't want to have his baby, but she doesn't want to abort a child. She's pregnant now. I don't believe in abortion though. So but that's just me. That's just me. Let me see. I had a few other stories. Where's all my stuff? Did anybody else see this story about the teens? I don't know. This is one teen shot another teen, killing them. But this one got a little bit of a twist to it. These were two teens who were taking turns shooting each other, wearing body armor. Yeah. This is from CNN. One teenager is dead. At least two teens took turns shooting at each other while wearing body armor in Bellevue, Florida. On April 3rd, the Bellevue Police Department received a call for a shooting at a residence. When they arrived, they found 16-year-old Christopher Leroy Broad, who had been shot. He was transported to a local hospital where he died. The medical examiner's office said the cause of his death was a single gunshot wound to the chest, and the manner of death was listed as a homicide. The investigation discovered evidence to prove that Joshua Vining, 17, had shot and killed Broad. Vining was arrested and charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child with a firearm. Through the investigation, it was determined that Vining and Broad were taking turns shooting at each other while wearing a vest that contained a form of body armor. Vining shot at Broad while he was wearing the vest, and he was struck. Police said when they arrived, they found Vining doing CPR on Broad. A second teenager was arrested because he gave misleading information. But apparently, a third teenager was there, and they recorded them shooting each other. So they say the video recorded both shootings. So first, you shoot me. Pow. Ouch. Now I get to shoot you. Pow. Ah. What the hell? The video recorded both shootings using Snapchat on his iPhone, saving the video of Vining being shot, but deleting the video of Broad being shot. A technician was able to recover the shooting of Broad, according to the affidavit. Both Vining and the second teen face charges for providing false information to law enforcement, and they're being charged as adults. Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Uh, I don't know about that one. I get back to that. Let me go. I see some comments that are trying to provoke me. Stop demonizing mothers, and maybe the demand for abortion would decrease. You're never gonna stop fornication. Okay. I'm not saying stop fornication. I'm saying stop abortion. I'm not trying to stop fornication. I would like to stop abortion. Um, but okay, to back to these guys. This is a matter of having too much, maybe a little too much money and a little too much time on your hands. Maybe too much money and a little too much time on your hands. But I'm gonna be honest, as a teenager, and maybe, it's just ignorance, I could see myself. If I got a bulletproof vest and a gun, I'm like, hey, let's say the vest is bulletproof. Is it bulletproof? Maybe put it on something, shoot, ping. The bullet didn't go through. It's a real bulletproof. All right, let me put it on. Shoot me. I might see myself doing that as a foolish teenager. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but clearly the intent was not to kill nobody. I'm not against them being held responsible. I'm not against them being held responsible to some degree, but charging them as an adult, I think that might be a little too much. And it doesn't say in the story exactly what it is do they face. It doesn't say what they face in terms of punishment. I think they're juveniles. They were doing something really, really stupid. Charging them as adults seemed excessive to me. I know a kid is dead, but it could have easily been the other way around. It could have easily been the other way around, and this kid could be dead. I don't I don't like the idea of charging these, and they were both white teens. Like that is clearly a matter of too much time and you know too many resources. And people act like black people are the only young black teens are the only ones running around. But no, no, white teens are doing it too. I think it's a part of why I'm pro gun. I'm pro gun because they got guns. They're being taught to use guns. Maybe in this case, not taught well enough, but they're being taught to use guns. They're being taught that guns aren't bad, guns aren't evil. Guns ain't something you should run. Oh, no, not a gun. Oh, not in my house. No. They got guns. They got body armor. They got guns and body armor. Somebody say my stream is choppy. Oh, it do look like my connectivity done dropped a little bit. Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on. See if what I can do about this. Hold on a second. If I cut off, I'll be right. All right. Um, I shouldn't cut off. I should be back. Am I back? And am I still choppy? It says my network is back up 10 of 10. It had dropped to 8 of 10. All right. So it says I'm good now. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that. I'm the king of talk. I don't control the internet. But yeah, they running around with body armor and guns. And we telling our teens, no guns. We telling our community, no guns. I'm a proponent of everybody go ahead, get guns and learn how to use them and learn how to control yourself. But I'm sorry, because all my comments went away and I saw where Jerica has something on there about them being charged as adults. I didn't read everything. I couldn't read everything that you said. But I think charging them as adults is overkill. I didn't mean it that way, but yeah, it's overdoing it. Just stupid teenagers doing stupid stuff. Yes, hold them responsible. Hold them responsible. And I don't know what would be an appropriate charge because I don't know the law like that. I don't know the law like that. Yeah, charging them for providing false information to law enforcement. Okay. Okay. But am I the only one? It sounds a little reasonable that if you are like doing something really stupid, am I the only one who ever got caught doing something really stupid and then tried to hide the evidence of it? We were both in here doing something stupid, jumping from bed to bed, knowing we didn't have no business jumping from bed to bed. We don't move the mattresses and all of that kind of stuff. And then somebody jump, boom, crack their mouth, a tooth is chipped, and now put the mattresses back, do this and that, cover his mouth up so don't nobody hear him crying. And then something happened. What happened? We don't know. He just fell and he chipped his tooth. That's just regular stuff. Their behaviors were that of immature children. Why charge them as adults? Who should be charged are the parents for allowing them access to the gun unsupervised. No, not at all. No, the parents should not be charged. If you allow maybe not as much in some of our communities, but in some communities, it's not preposterous to let your 15, 16, 17-year-old have access to guns. They go to in the backyard or whatever, go wherever there's a clearing and they shoot. They shoot cans and bottles and targets. That's not exceptionally unreasonable. Like, it's norm. Like, it's the norm. Jumping on the bed, lying to parents is not a good argument to justify lying to police. I'm not trying to justify lying to police. Y'all, I'll be wondering about y'all choices of words sometimes. But it is the same thing. It's the same thing, just a different authority figure. You got caught doing something, in this case, a kid got shot, something stupid, and then you lie about it and hide some of the evidence to show your stupidity. It's based on their level of maturity. I don't know about that. Look, I'm just trying to be for real and be reasonable. I'm trying to be for real and be reasonable. Who, as a parent, I say if you can foresee that happening, like if you know your child is the type of child that's gonna put on the vest and say, shoot me, then maybe you're responsible. Then maybe you're responsible for this incident. But if you just like, my kid takes the gun and he goes out to the range and, he shoots at the can and he's pretty good at hitting the can. He's pretty good at hitting the target. Like he's getting really good at it. He's going to be a sharpshooter. People are always looking for what the career going to be. See, he's 3 and he jumping already. He going to be a gymnast. No. He going to be dunking in the NBA. No, he just 3. He can jump. That's it. But if you out there shooting, you hitting the can, he's going to be a sharpshooter. And then you find out, they was taking turns shooting each other? It's not something my son would do. Well, no, you're under arrest because your son shot another kid and they were taking turns shooting each other and his bullet went through and killed the other kid. So now you're under arrest. I think the whole charge the parents thing is a little overblown. Just a little. Janice said, I had 3 boys. So, they do stupid stuff and then they hide the evidence. I don't know that it's poor parenting. It's some stuff you just chalk up to stupidity. Some stuff you just say, they was doing stupid stuff. Yeah, you hold them responsible. I mean, it's a dead child. So somebody got to be held responsible for this. This is not a case where you just say, oh, it's just boys being boys. No, someone does have to be held responsible. I agree with that, and I'm not against that. Charging them as adults, though, as if it was intentional or, there was some level of adulting going on in this case. This is clearly a case of some stupid juvenile stuff. And so even if you keep those charges, you charge them as a juvenile because it was clearly some juvenile stuff. They're saying, well, you want to act like adult? We're going to treat you like an adult. This was not acting like an adult. That's not how adults act. Responsible adults typically, to my knowledge, don't put on a bulletproof vest and then take turns shooting each other with the bulletproof vest. That sounds like something that kids do, some juveniles do. Kids don't understand that after so many hits, especially in the same spot, a vest will lose its integrity of being able to stop a bullet. But to your point, kids don't understand that. Kids don't understand that. And that's why I think they should be charged as juveniles. If adults did this, we would call them childish and charge them as adults because they are adults. But yeah, now this is some juvenile stuff, and they should be charged as such. Also, the judge in the George Floyd death, the other 3 officers they're going on trial. And y'all know for a long time I was saying, okay, they should get a little leniency, but taking everything into consideration, they shouldn't. You guys were right. I was wrong. But the judge is debating whether or not to allow cameras in the trial. Yeah, they say that the cameras were allowed in Derek Chauvin's trial because, COVID-19. COVID-19. And they couldn't allow people into the courtroom and all of that kind of stuff. But they say now that a lot of places are dropping their safety measures and COVID-19 is not keeping people out of the courthouse and out of the courtroom, they really have to view whether or not cameras are necessary. They say now that the U.S. has entered a new phase of living with the coronavirus, Cahill, who's the judge, must decide whether to allow the same sort of access for the trial set to begin in June. For former officers Tu Tao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander Kung, a coalition of media organizations, including the AP, wants Cahill to allow video coverage, said in a brief filed Friday that it understood the judge planned to prohibit it. The coalition said it presumed the reasons included defensive objections and the judge's belief that his hands are tied by the normal court rules, absent the extenuating circumstances caused by the pandemic. So it kind of looks like it kind of looks like they might not allow cameras in this trial. And I think that would be terrible. I think it would be terrible to not. I don't understand why they don't allow cameras in every trial. Like, that should be the norm. Cameras in the courthouse. I'm a big proponent, if you didn't already know this, I'm a big proponent of cameras all over the place in public. Anything public that's happening, the public should have access to view it. Put it out there. What you got to hide? What do you have to hide? I don't understand why they don't allow cameras in the Supreme Court. What are they hiding? It's public information. You know what that means? The public has access to it. And there are a lot of people who are like, well, some stuff we just don't need to see. We need to see everything. We need to see everything. What's the number? I'm finally off during a show. I think we need to see everything. It's public. Okay, it's another stupid comment, but I'll read it. You're not thinking about witness safety, I see. You want to be so anti-law. How is cameras anti-law? Answer that for me. How are cameras anti-law? You give me a good answer how cameras are anti-law, I will change my mind. Y'all know I'm not in fear of having to change my mind. Hold on a second, caller. Yes, hello? You're on the afternoon experiment.
Okay. It's Jason. I just asked you for the number. I just wanted to say I enjoy the show always. I wish you would do more, but it's your time. I disagree with you on the cameras everywhere. It's just something about the government watching every move you make. I don't like it.
Well, but see, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. The government is already watching every move you make. The cameras are for us to watch every move that the government makes.
I got to disagree. They don't watch everything I do.
They don't?
How so? I'll say how so.
Huh?
How so? How is the government watching me?
They got satellites watching you. They can monitor your phone. They could turn on your camera on your phone right now and watch what you're doing as we're having this conversation. They have the technology and the ability to do that.
Oh yeah, you're right. On some enemy of the state type stuff.
Yeah.
All right, but I slightly agree more, but I'm just a little old me, so
All right,
you know.
but again, I'm not talking about in anybody's private homes or anything. I'm talking about in a courtroom that is open to the public. What is the point of not allowing cameras if anybody can walk in there and see it?
Oh, I thought you meant like every kind of like New York style, where you can't turn a corner without the police looking at you.
No, well, I mean, I'm kind of with that too. But mainly I'm talking about in the George Floyd trial, they're talking about not allowing cameras in for this next phase where the other three officers are going on trial. So I'm a big believer that if it's open to the public, we the public should be able to see it.
Well, I agree with that, but I know it's different state to state. Can't you request a transcript and video because all courts technically have cameras? Can't you request that trial if it's public, if it's a public trial?
But why should I have to do that if you can just air it?
Well,
Like that's what I'm saying. I don't understand the objection to
well, I
having
don't have an
a
objection to
camera.
that.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the government. Like where you said you don't want the government to be able to watch you all the time and keep tabs on you. I think we as the citizens, by the very nature of the way that our government is designed, we should be able to watch and keep tabs on our government.
I agree, but the people don't agree, and the masses or the government would have to conform to what we say.
I'm saying that again.
I agree with you, but for the government to react like that, the masses would have to force them. Like there would have to be a large uproar of people saying, "Hey, we want to see it, and you're gonna stop hiding it from us." But they won't.
And they won't because
they've been trained by the government very well. Sheep behavior, herd behavior. Just because a few sheep say they want something, if the majority of the herd don't say it, that's it. It ain't happening.
all right.
Did I use that? And before I get off, I don't want to take up too much time. I wanted to call so bad yesterday when B-Rab was calling, because some of the stuff I agree with, some of it I did, but that guy was an interesting caller. And if he's listening, I like that call. And that's it. Thanks for the time.
All right, Jason. I appreciate your call.
Yep.
I agree. I liked B-Rab's call yesterday as well. I liked this call yesterday as well. I didn't agree with him, but I don't have to agree to like the call. So thank you, Jason. Raz says because the Supreme Court gives remedy, i.e., private information. It's not private information. It's not. You should be able to get all of those court records, get a transcript. They literally let members of the public in. So if I can travel there and sit in the room, why can't I be here and watch it? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We should be able to see what's going on. Okay, it's a lot of conversation going on in there. I'm not 100% sure what they're talking about. Let's see. I had another topic that I wanted to discuss. Oh, okay. Y'all remember the girl in hold on, let me see. Which one was it again? No, not that one. Not that one. That one. Y'all remember in New York the woman who accused the black teenager of stealing her phone at the hotel, and like she had left it in the Uber or whatever, and the Uber came and brought it back and gave it to her, but in the meantime She accused the young black man of taking her phone, and then she even kind of charged him and tried to tackle him, and his daddy was there. Y'all remember that story? Yeah, she finally pled guilty. She pled guilty. This is from CNN as well. The California woman who falsely accused a black teenager of stealing her cell phone and then attacked him in a New York City hotel pleaded guilty to unlawful imprisonment in the second degree as a hate crime. Yeah. She was seen attacking 14-year-old Kenyon Harold Jr., who was with his father at the hotel. Video of the incident quickly went viral, with many accusing her of racially profiling the teen. The plea deal requires Ponsetto, she's 23, to follow probation terms for a separate case in California, attend counseling, and avoid further criminal incidents. If she doesn't comply, or if she gets in some trouble, she could go to prison for up to 4 years. But if she successfully follows those terms, she can replead the felony charge to a misdemeanor charge of aggravated harassment in the second degree. Of course, they'll say they're grateful for the plea deal. Since the incident, she's been leading an exemplary life. How y'all feel about that? She got a plea deal where she pled guilty or pleaded, I'm not sure which. She pleaded guilty to, what did I say it was? I got to scroll back up. She pleaded guilty to unlawful imprisonment in the second degree as a hate crime. But and I'm going to use some terminology that I don't know was ever really legal terminology, but that I used to hear. But they put that on the shelf. They put that on the shelf. And they said, look, you are already on probation for a separate case in California. So if you act right and you don't get in any more trouble, you'll be good. And then you'll be able to come back and replead to a misdemeanor charge of aggravated harassment in the second degree. Now, if you act up, yes, I said act up. If you act up, then you face up to 4 years in prison. So we putting these 4 years on the shelf, and you ain't even got to worry about them if you just act right. Or do we feel like, nah, she should have been charged with some more stuff, and she should have to suffer some consequences, because it's clearly not her first time, because she's dealing with being on probation from a separate case in California. I mean, she ain't no angel. She done did some stuff. So why does she get a second chance? You got the case in California, and then you unlawfully imprison someone, tackle that young man. And that says she mentally scarred that boy. Lock her up. I kind of feel like she should have to do a little bit of time. She should have to do a little bit of time. I mean, if nobody has to do any time for all of this stuff, if nobody has to do any time for all of this stuff that they do, what's going to stop it? What's going to stop it? Okay, she probably won't tackle another black dude, accuse him of stealing her phone while she's on probation. But if that's the penalty, that don't stop me from tackling some black boy who I can accuse of stealing my phone. If people start going to jail, then maybe, it's not indefinite, but maybe people will stop acting up. But you didn't really mean to tackle him. look, you've pleaded guilty to this, and it sounds really bad. And so we'll be able to put out there that you pleaded guilty to a hate crime. But if you don't get in no more trouble, it go away. It go away after a minute. So don't really worry about it. It's only a hate crime for now, and then eventually it won't be a hate crime anymore. So you'll be good. Looks like you guys are saying she should do some time. She definitely needs some time. It says it's white skin privilege. All right. I was just checking out. I like to, I bounce stuff off of y'all to see, because, y'all know I'll be all over the place thinking about stuff. I'll be all over the place. I saw this. Hold on. Let me see if I can do an update on this story. Maybe I wonder if they found her. Okay. Doesn't say that they did. Cincinnati, this is from Fox 19. Cincinnati police are searching for a woman who was supposed to babysit but never showed up for the job. Police say Tondalea Jones, 21, was last seen Tuesday evening in the 5400 block of Winton View Place. Developmental disabilities may be in the 3000 block of McHenry Avenue. Also say she has brown hair and brown eyes, and she weighs 160 pounds. So if you've seen her, please, hold on. Let me see if I can put her picture up here. Let's do that. And let's do this. So that's her. If you've seen her, alert police. Okay? We want to find her and make sure she's safe. We want to find her and make sure that she is safe. She's 21. She has developmental disabilities. Now, of course, that brings up the question to me. I did see that story, Jerica. I got it to bring up in just a minute. But this young lady was going to a babysitting job. And I got a quick, and this is not a comment on her. If you've seen her, hopefully she's found safe. Get the word out. But who was she babysitting? And because admittedly, I'm ignorant about a lot of things, and people with developmental disabilities is one of those things. Is it safe? I'm just asking, is it safe to have a person with developmental disabilities babysit your child? Is that a safe thing to do? Like I would have been like, no. But I don't know the level of, is there a level? Just curious. Because I don't know. And I'm saying I genuinely don't know. LaDonna says, I didn't know you were on. Yeah, I came on about 5 minutes till 1. About 5 minutes till 1. Jenna says, I understand that you're concerned. And I'm not even saying that don't do it. I'm just asking, is that something that people do? Is that something that people do? I'm going to say depends on their function level. Okay. I knew you were going to ask that. That's like asking, is it safe for a man to babysit a child? It's nothing like asking, is it safe for a man to babysit a child? Nothing like it. Not even close. It's It's based on their level of development and maturity. Okay. Okay. Look, I'm asking. I don't know these things, so I ask. I don't know these things, so I ask. But it's nothing like asking, is it okay for a man? Nothing. And lastly, no, it's not. It is not the same. Not even close. Um, it's like asking, is it okay for a woman to watch a child? See how ridiculous that sounds. Stop it. Lastly, Miami Instagram model not charged in her boyfriend's death. Now, the brother of the person who was killed says it's because of her privilege. It's because of her privilege. Yeah, this young lady, 27-year-old, wait a minute, how old is she? Because that's not her. This 27-year-old young man, Christian, I hate butchering people's names. Obumseli. His family is demanding justice. They're saying that this young lady, who her age has to be in here somewhere. I guess it doesn't really matter. Bottom line is she's an Instagram model. Young white girl. He's a black dude. There's a video of her, like almost literally covered in his blood. Police come in. They say that there was an investigation and that it is clear that she killed him in self-defense. It's clear that she killed him in self-defense. So she's not going to be charged. And his family is not happy. His family is not happy. Let's see. Courtney Clenny is her name. She's an Instagram model and has an OnlyFans page. One thing about OnlyFans, because every time I hear OnlyFans, I think sex. Are there OnlyFans pages where people aren't having sex? Or is it she has an OnlyFans page where, maybe she did her little sex shows or whatever and people paid for it, and or she just talked. Is that a thing on OnlyFans where people do this, where they just talk? That's just a question that I had. 'Cause is that like I'm about to sound like I'm ignorant and like I'm trying to be funny, but I promise y'all, I'm not trying to be funny. I genuinely don't know. I've heard of OnlyFans. And I know it is as a place where it's like a place for adult entertainment. But if I understand it right, you subscribe to a page, so you pay, I don't know, by viewing or monthly or whatever, to watch, I guess, people do things. But do you just go to onlyfans.com, or is it a special way that you get there? That I don't know. I genuinely, and that's not mean. I'm so honest. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I've never been on an OnlyFans page. You don't have to have sex to have an OnlyFans page. Solo content. Heard that from a friend. Okay. Someone says some model lingerie, like the parent that was shunned from her son's school. Okay. All right. I didn't know. But anyway, she has an OnlyFans page, and financially, she seems to be okay. She stabs this dude in the chest. The police are called, and she's not charged with anything. And of course, his family is saying, hey, no, something is up here. They saying she getting away with this because she got money and basically because she white. All her privileges are playing into this. Jeffrey, his brother, says the bottom line is inextricably clear. Courtney is being treated different because of her privilege as a wealthy white woman. Within 24 hours following Toby's death, that's the brother's nickname, the detective on the case prematurely concluded that this was not a crime of violence. Let's see if I can get y'all. I got to put this down again. If I can get y'all this picture of the two of them. That's a picture of the two of them. It's always difficult for me. I got to move to the other side. That's the two of them. So she killed him and says it was a case of domestic violence and she had to defend herself. And hold on, let me see if I can scroll on here. Scroll. There is video of her from TMZ. Oh, there's an ad there. I don't want to see an ad. Everything got an ad. The Masked Singer, I guess. Is that what that is? Oh, come on. We got like 17 seconds or something left in this ad. But there's a video. I would have taken it off the screen, but I figured y'all might be watching The Masked Singer. And so this is her sitting down, and you can't see it super clear. But she's got his blood all over her. That's his blood all over her. And they did their investigation, a really quick investigation, apparently. And apparently in less than 24 hours, they said, well, she didn't do nothing wrong. No charges will be filed. So it's something to scooch over a bit more. When I said the neighbor said they was always arguing. Is she claiming self-defense? She is claiming self-defense. Side note, this man hated black women. His comments about black women were horrible. One of the things, I didn't know that, but one of the things that I don't, I'm glad that I have a love for sisters. I'm glad that I have a love for sisters. And because if something happened to me, and Mrs. Livingston end up having to stab me, at least I know it's going to be thoroughly looked into. At least I know it's going to be thoroughly looked into. It ain't just going to be, he's black, she's white, he was probably a brute, she was defending herself. All right, case closed. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be thoroughly looked into. And I guess that's, again, you love who you love, you kick it with who you kick it with, you do what you do. But some of this stuff, can have consequences. And that's one of the potential consequences. You're a black man, especially brown to dark skin black man, and something happened. Do you really think those police went in there thinking she probably did something to him? Or do you think that it's possible they went in thinking she probably had to defend herself against him? Look at him. I mean, he's laying there dead, and I'm still scared of him. You know. Jason says, not guaranteed. They might say the same thing for you. They might, but I believe it'll be looked into. I believe it'll be looked into. Oh, look at her. She's so small and blonde. She had to be defending herself. So, I don't know. I imagine that if I'm his family, I want some answers too. I also saw a video of her. She was at a bar, hotel. They said it was a hotel, and she was at the bar. They say she was getting drinks, even though her people say she wasn't getting drinks. Her father had a drink, but she wasn't casually getting drinks. But you can just kill somebody, and then, a day or two later, you just out kicking it. Even though she said that's not what she was doing. She wasn't just out kicking it, but it kind of looked like she was out kicking it. Kind of looked like it. All right, y'all, my time is up. Really no such thing. My time is up. Like, I could go all day, but I do have things that I must do. Still got to get out there and build the empire. So I'm going to cut it short now. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really do. Let's see. I got to get ready before I get out of here. I appreciate everybody who takes time to come to this page and spend an hour or 2 or 5 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever it is that you spend listening to just what some guy has to say. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. I guess that's it. I fully intend on being here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. This has been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. My title is the King of Talk. I hope that something amazing happens to you today. Until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.